Okay, I record this video on Thursday, the 30th of November, 2017. I do hope you are doing well. So, how about that last 24 hours in the cryptocurrency space? Unbelievable. Took profits on the Bitcoin trade up above 11,000 just because it was getting a little bit kind of crazy. And thank God I did, because it's back down at like 9,000 now. 10,000 on Bitcoin was always going to be psychologically really important. I thought we might just touch it and come off and settle around, but no. We touched it and then we kind of blasted through it, and they took it up to through 11,000 to 11,003 or 400, something like, just unbelievable. So as soon as it goes kind of exponential like that, you know you got a blow-off move kind of going on, so time to take some profits. Didn't take off all my position by any means, still in there with a big position, but did take profits, and that was a hold for me of about 16 months, which has been a wild ride, but well worth it. Ended up being like a 15x trade when you look at it in Aussie dollars, because the Aussie dollar's kind of gone down as well. Anyway, so that's kind of the Bitcoin story, but the chart I want to talk to today just very quickly is the US bonds chart. This is at US, which is the continuous contract on TradeStation of the 30-year bonds. You can look at the 10-year or the 5 years, so that's at TY or at FV, and see exactly the same thing going on. But what I think we've got setting up is a nice little short entry on the US bonds. I'm just going to talk about that really quickly. If we look at the kind of traditional view of Beta Pro-Am and the momentum chart, kind of here you can see July, August in 2016, we had this blow-off move. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence on momentum, end of trends, and we sunk off since then. This big day down was really important, and that was the election. Mr. Trump coming in, and bang, we sold off. When you see big blue professional bars like this, rangy bars, the highs and lows are really important. We kept on, momentum through, found a bottom, support came in on the highest time frame here, and we've been bouncing from there, and we bounced up to the top of that kind of channel. So there's the high, and it was almost at the high of this kind of breakdown level here on that important day. Complex correction on the way back, where we kind of just bat backwards and forwards between support and resistance, not really breaking out into any kind of trend moves. Here we come into resistance on the highest time frame. We put in some flush patterns where we're flushing out buyers, and then we kind of start to break down here. We had this breakdown blue professional bar. We kept going a little bit. The professionals stepped in and held it, and they pushed it back up to the top of that kind of breakdown bar. That blue professional bar there. So a couple of blue professional bars kind of come in here, and now we've got resistance on the lowest time frame, on the highest time frame, and I think with today's activity, maybe tomorrow's activity, we'll have resistance on the intermediate time frame coming as well. So that'll be triple resistance in here with white kind of going on, and that shows that we're not able to get through that resistance, and we'll start to move down. So I think the continuation of the downtrend is kind of being set up at this point here. If you look at the system view, you can see here was that nice kind of uptrending move, all in red, into blow-off activity, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. There's the downtrend kind of going on here that hit support on the highest time frame. The complex correction, mostly red on the way up here. But over the last couple of months, we've been showing weakness here because we're breaking supports. No resistance is being broken. And we've come back up. We had a low-risk entry point here that we kind of had to test again and again. But at each of those resistances on the lowest time frame, you can see we just bounced straight off those. So I think this is an important area, particularly with those blue professional bars coming in right there and coming through the lows of that. That shows they were selling that little bit of strength that we had there at the top of that kind of range. So I think we're heading down on bonds. Again, you can see the same type of activity on T, Y, and FV for the same thing. How to play this for an intermediate kind of trade? You might look at an ETF, a short triple, which is TMV, which I quite like. I've been in this once before, kind of jumped out when the trade didn't kind of go my way. But if you look at this over the last couple of years, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence comes in at 16, important level. We have this short covering rally, we come back down again. Exhaustion sell again, bullish divergence around 17 this time, and it's holding and it's holding. We get yesterday blue professional bar kind of come in. As long as we blast up through the highs of that and kind of keep going, I think we've kind of proved this bottom enough. We got support on these two time frames kind of coming in. Very weak selling going on after exhaustion sell. and you can see that the system view of TMV is also showing strength at the moment with that support on the 2 time frames. So as long as we keep on breaking through resistances and showing this strength, we'll kind of break into an uptrend on TMV, and it's the inverse of that that kind of bond chart at US. So there you go. That's the chart I'm looking at today that I'm pretty interested in. It's at US, or looking at TMV for an ETF play for a sell-off in the bond market.